How's it going, guys? It is the Mighty Secret back here on episode 8 of Caps Off the Chain podcast. We are joined with a full crew this week. Last week it was just me and Gil. We're back with C4. Say hi, C4.
Hey guys.
Gil,
My camera on
Mr. Blueliner, say hello again.
Hello again.
And Jared, we don't give a fuck about you. Let's move on. All right, Jared, say hi. Say hi, Jared.
We won't deny that. It's true.
Say hi, Jared. Jared is back. He was not here I don't think he was here the last 2 weeks. You might have been.
Yeah, I was at Amherst games.
You were at Amherst games last Wednesday. But I think you might have been with us for episodes 4 and 5. But anyways, we're back here for episode 8. We have a lot to talk about. This will be our last episode until I think the 3rd episode of December, 3rd of December, 4th of December, the Wednesday, because we were taking off next week to live stream the Tampa Bay game. Hopefully we win that game, but it's looking like we're going to be without Ovi for at least a week. I'm hearing a sprained MCL, which could take about a month to heal. So I think we get him by sometime around Christmas back. So we're only going to miss Ovi for at least 2 to 3 weeks. So that's good. Because it didn't look good at first. It was like a little contact, but he couldn't even get up. Like, he had to be helped off the ice. But then he skated. He went on the ice and skated, and then he walked off on his own power. So that's a good sign. With that being said, Ivan Miroshchenko has been called up and will more likely either sit in the box because Lapierre is playing tomorrow night, or he will be playing on that third line because it's looking like Verona is going to be slotted up to the top line, which I'm fine with because Verona has looked good lately. He's looked really good. And I don't think Miro is ready for that top line. So it makes sense
Absolutely
to
not.
put Miro on the third line, but like I said, I don't see him getting called up just to sit in the press box. But anything could happen. I mean, maybe it's just a precautionary, because they can put Lapierre in the game, and then if someone else gets hurt. This podcast is brought to you by Diet Dr. Pepper. Go Diet Dr. Pepper. Gil, what is your initial thoughts hearing this? Are you happy that it's only IR and not long-term IR? So that tells us it's not as serious.
It's a very good sign. IR means at a minimum he's going to miss a week. I think you're right. It's definitely going to be more than a week. Probably at a bare minimum 2 weeks. I wouldn't mind that he misses a full month as long as he's 100% healed.
Yeah.
I think the team will be okay without him. Not great. Barely good, but okay enough to survive him for 1 month.
The thing about that, though, is if you look at this, yes, Ovi scored 15 goals, but I think Michael has 12 himself. So it's not like if we lose Ovi, we're losing offense, but we still have enough offense to carry the team.
The one guy I'm worried about is Strome. Because Ovi has been his main target.
Yeah.
That's the one guy I'm worried about.
Yeah, that is something to worry about. But if you look at this, the fourth line is scoring goals. The second line's arguably be our top line in most nights. It's some nights it's better than the top line itself. But let's get into it. We got 3 games to talk about, and then we'll talk about the man, the myth, the legend that is Ryan Leonard. Let's get into it. Game 1, Colorado, who we play tomorrow night. We'll be at the game. Check us out at Ultra Club. We're also going to post a short about We Want Nuggets. I'm going to get some fans to come together and chant We Want Nuggets. All right, let's do this. Game 1, Capitals, Avalanche. Avs wasted no time in this game. 2 minutes in, they scored for deflection. Parker Kelly's first career NHL goal. Congratulations.
Hey, can I do a quick impression?
Go ahead.
Marcus before this game to the Caps. You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose.
You know what? I honestly, I I did say we were going to lose because the Avs got healthy, but we came in this
I
game.
said Marcus. It was not the wise Sakroom that said that. I'm sure it was Marcus who said that.
Nah, Sakroon said they'd get their ass kicked. He said the Avs would get their ass kicked. Anyways, well, to be fair, this did not look good to start off. This game did not look good. The Avs were the better team to start off. But then Washington started to forecheck. And they got a power play, and Jacob Vrana did not miss. Jacob Vrana makes it 1-1. 3 minutes later, Connor McMichael scores to make it 2-1. At the end of the first period, it's 2-1. This is where I felt like, you know what? If we have the lead, but we did this against Carolina. We had a 2-1 lead at the end of the first period, and then we just kind of blew it in the second period. But here's where the Capitals learned from that mistake. Early on in the first period, second period, Connor McMichael does not make it miss. This is another reason why I don't think the Caps are going to be too badly missing Ovechkin with how McMichael is playing on that second line. Another guy that don't be surprised if he starts to score is Dubois, because Dubois has been getting chances after chances, and he's just had unluck. He's just not lucky right now. He's not getting the lucky bounces, and once he starts to do, I think he's going to start scoring more goals. Uh-oh, we lost Jared. He's back! Jared is back!
That whole entire thing just crashed for me.
Anyways, Caps are up 3-1. 3 minutes later, Nikolai Kovalenko on a tip or backhanded shot makes it 3-2. Then Big Dick Chikrin. He does things to me. Makes it 4-2. Makes it 4-2. And then the Capitals basically in that third period played shutdown. They played their trap game. The Avs couldn't really do much. And it ended with a 5-2 victory with Sandin hitting the empty netter. This game was a completely 100 or 180 from the Toronto game, which we did predict. We predicted that the Caps would lose in overtime. Gil predicted the right score. We can go over that game a little bit, but there's really nothing to say besides the fact the Capitals had a 3-1 lead, and they blew it in the third period. They really should have lost that game 5-3, or 6-3, actually, if you look at it, because both of those goals could have went either way. I'm shocked that we got them both going our way. Like, the glove, yes, but the high stick is you just can't tell if it was over the crossbar or not. So I feel like Toronto did get a little screwed, but they end up winning the game 4-3. But the Capitals would respond on this road trip after that blown loss. They would lead every game going into the third this entire road trip, and they would shut it down. So let's get into the next game. The Vegas, congratulations, Washington Capitals. You finally won in T-Mobile Arena during the regular season.
What's in your wallet?
What's in your wallet? This is the Capitals' very first regular season victory in Vegas. And Vegas has been in the league almost 8 years. That's embarrassing. But we won where it mattered the most in the Stanley Cup Final. Capitals would come out hard on this. Ovechkin would not waste any time. 5 minutes and 59 seconds on the power play. Makes it 1-0. Jacob Chikrin, 7 minutes later, makes it 2-0. And then, after I literally told Cheryl, don't let them fucking score late in the period, what do? 8 seconds left. Brett Howden makes it 2-1. So I'm like, oh,
Cheryl,
shit.
you let him score.
Yeah, Cheryl.
Job.
You had one job.
You?
You had
One
one
job.
fucking job. One job. All right. Capitals. After that goal, it felt like Vegas took over this game, but Logan Thompson wasn't having that shit. Jacob Vrana has 2 goals against Vegas this season. He scored the first goal of the game in the home open, the second game of the season, and he scores here. Capitals are up 3-1, but then Coleslaw makes it 3-2. Then Alex Ovechkin makes it 4-2 on a beautiful shot, a beautiful goal. And then the third period just felt like it was them holding on. because Vegas had to do their push. Logan made some good saves in that third period. Logan. Alex Ovechkin would score the empty netter to get his hat trick, which may be his last ever hat trick, knowing just how hard it is to score 3 goals a game, especially at that age. This was a good game. Back-to-back games, they won 5-2. Ovi didn't score the last 2 games before this. He bursts for 3 goals, and then the next game we'll talk about he'll burst for 2, but then we have to talk about the elephant in the room. We kind of talked about it a little bit. But, Gil, I'm sure you had a raging boner after this win.
Yeah. Jenna Jameson was the guest referee.
Jenna Jameson, what a classic.
Oh my God. Like, of course, Jared.
You know, I went to one of those wax museums and got my picture taken with a wax Jenna Jameson.
That's awesome. That is so awesome.
My parents were wondering, how the hell do you know who Jenna Jameson is? I was like, don't worry about it.
And this is why it's called Off the Chain, people.
Oh my God.
No, I love that. I
Hockey.
didn't love that they gave up 25 frickin' shots in the last period, but I did love the way that they otherwise locked it down. So,
yeah, that was the one thing I didn't like. That the Caps just seemed like they didn't care in that third period, but they also most of the chances that the Vegas got in that third period were to the side, and they weren't very high danger shots.
no.
But yeah, this was a big win. Capitals sweep the Vegas Golden Knights. And now they head to Utah, where a team before they moved to Utah, I think they haven't beaten in almost 4 seasons. Arizona has really owned them the last 3 years. But there's a different story. A different night. Capitals did not start off hot in this game. It honestly, it looked like Utah was going to run away with this early on. Jack McBain scores with 3 minutes into the period to make it 1-0, and we're like, oh fuck, here we go. Nope. Dylan Strome scores a weird goal 4 minutes later, and then not even 10 seconds later, Nick Dowd makes it. The Condiman Con. Nick Dowd makes it 2-1, and then Alex Ovechkin scores, and then John Carlson scores. But according to them, fuck me, I don't know what the fuck goaltending interference is anymore. This game should be 4-1 at the end of the first period, but nope, it's 3-1 because the goal gets called back. But you know what? Ovi said, fuck you, on the power play. We'll make it 4-1. Ovechkin makes it 4-1, and the Capitals are on cruise mode. A weird goal midway through the second period makes it 4-2 by Nick Bustad. And then the third period, this is where the series, Ovechkin gets into a collision with Jack McBain. He goes down. He can't put any weight on his, was it left leg?
I believe so.
His left leg. Chikrin has to help him off. He sits on the bench for a little bit, and then apparently he went to the dressing room, and then he came back out to skate during the commercial, and then he skated around, he twirled around, and he just couldn't do it. But here's the thing, he walked off on his own power to the back. So we found out yesterday that it's going to be week to week, but today we found out that he's going to IR, and there's talks that it might be a sprained MCL. A torn ACL is not out of the possibility, but it's less likely. So that's good, very good news. I'd rather him have a sprained MCL and miss a month compared to torn ACL and be out for the remainder of the season. So
Yes.
Capitals would respond. Brandon Duhaime, 5-2, 7 minutes and 30 seconds late. I think about a minute after Ovechkin went down, Duhaime would score. And then 2 minutes and... Oh, she's yelling at the cat. 2 minutes and 26 seconds later, Alexei Protes makes it 6-2. Capitals win 6-2. They go 3-0 on the road trip. They get all six possible points on the road trip. They get 7 points out of their last 4 games of potentially getting 8 points. I would say it's a big victory for the Caps. They are sitting in second place, I think, because the Rangers... No, they're sitting in first because the Rangers lost yesterday. So, that's big. The Capitals are sitting in first place for the first time in almost 3 seasons. Gil, how does it feel to be first in the Metro?
I've gotten to a metro station early and sat in the train for a while. It didn't go anywhere.
I knew he was going this.
Caps are second overall in the league after Winnipeg.
Yep.
How does it feel?
Hotter team. Only Winnipeg's been hotter than us.
Yeah, but Winnipeg also lost 2 of their last 3.
True.
So I think we're the hottest team. I think we're gonna go into a slump soon. Like we're very like every team goes through it. I hope we go through it in December, and then we can get because every time the Capitals have some kind of history. They have this rich history of deciding to play like shit in January, early January, and probably or late January, early February. And they do this almost every year. Even the years they won the President's Trophy, they struggled a little bit around that time. That's probably where we're gonna see our slump, is around that time because it's getting towards the All-Star break, and the players are gonna get ready to rest. They want to rest. You know, it's been the season's already half over, so I could definitely see something there. But right now, if we continue to win now, we can afford to slump then. But the only problem with that is, can we get hot again to go into the playoffs? That's my biggest question. Because here's the thing about the 28 team. I'm not saying we're going to win the Stanley Cup this year, but 2018, this team reminds me a lot of the 2018 team. No one expected us to do anything that year. They expected us to fall off after being back-to-back seasons President's Trophy winners. They expected us to lose in the first round. A lot of people predicted Columbus to knock us out. Especially when we went down 2-0. But the Caps actually went into that playoffs hot. Because the last month of March, they were playing playoff hockey. Because of how bad Braden Holtby was, Philip Grubauer had to come in and play like it was Game 7 every night. If the Caps can do that in late March, come in the playoffs, they're going to be a dangerous team to face in the playoffs. Because of this forecheck that we've established this season. So, Gil, how do you feel? Do you feel great about this road trip? Does it make the loss to Toronto sting a little less?
Yeah, because they obviously learn from that. They learn from it. If it's one thing I'm bothered by, it's that, and this is going to sound all kinds of effed up, but sometimes they win too big for themselves. The Blue Jackets game. What was the other one? The St. Louis game. This one against Utah. When they win too big, they have a bad habit of taking their foot off the gas. That's the one thing they've done consistently that I don't like.
We did that against Philadelphia. We went up 4-0
well,
and stopped playing.
that game too. But that was way early in the season. We're talking, we're almost a fourth of the way through the season now, and they're still doing that. So that's the one thing that bothers me. Everything else is coming together just right.
I think once we start playing our division and we play tighter games, I think that habit of putting the foot off the gas will go away. We also don't know what we're going to do with the deadline because right now, if we continue to play the way we are, I don't see us selling unless we're moving a couple older guys to get a little younger and get a little bit more draft capital, which I can definitely see happening. I mean, I could definitely see Milano getting traded for like a third, maybe a fifth rounder. I also can see them flipping that third and fifth rounder to get another depth guy. I could definitely see TVR getting traded. I could see a lot of guys. Alexiev getting traded. I think we're gonna sell a little bit at the deadline, but we're also gonna replace that as buyers. So I think we're gonna replace those players with better players, players that are going to fit the system for the playoffs.
It's also going to depend on what the injury situation looks like.
Yeah.
You cannot go on a long playoff run if you do not have at least 7 healthy defensemen.
I have a feeling we're gonna go out and get a really puck moving defender to put on the right side, because right now I don't trust that right side outside of Roy and Carlson. I just don't trust TVR most nights. Like I said, I think he's the odd man out. I think if we're gonna go get a defenseman, that's really the only side I see, because the left side, Sandin's playing good right now. Chikrin is playing out of his mind. He's getting a massive contract at the end of this year. If I'm the Capitals, I sign him before January. Don't even let him go to free agency.
Absolutely.
Don't even let him hit free agency. Just fucking sign him. Like, he is your future first round. He's your number 1 D on the left side. Sandin's playing well. Ferravari's looked okay. That bottom pairing is the only thing that scares me on the defense. Is the two right now, Ferravari and TVR, and those guys are on the ice most nights when we get pinned in our zone because they can't clear the fucking puck. That's their biggest problem. Is TVR and fucking Ferravari can't clear the fucking puck. Like, fuck. The Vegas game, oh my god, they got pinned in their zone for almost 3 minutes. But let's get into it. We got to preview some games.
Are they able to clear the fucking puck?
Yeah.
Tell us how you really feel, Marcus. Good grief.
Clear the fucking puck! That's all I ask.
Are you enjoying my sweatshirt, Landeskog?
Fuck. Just clear the puck. That's all I ask. But guess what?
Look at this. He's on his sweatshirt.
Guess what happened? Another fucking icing's called. Another fucking icing.
Oh my god. They had enough icing to frost a whole bakery.
Oh my god. That
Jesus,
fucking
it's
second
crazy.
and third period in Vegas. I counted like
awful.
9 icings on the Capitals. In the second period alone. In the third period, we had 5 more. We had 14 icing calls against us. But guess what? Another fucking icing was called. All right, let's talk about the next game. We got a couple games coming up. We have we got what I call a little bit, because the Avs have this gauntlet as well. The Avs have five tough games coming up. They have us. They got Florida, Tampa Bay. They got Vegas, and their next easy game is Nashville. So they got a fucking death row of teams to play, because they have Dallas in between that as well. We have somewhat of a gauntlet as well, because we got the 2 Florida teams coming up. We have Colorado tomorrow night. We're going. We have New Jersey on Saturday. We have Florida on Monday. It looks like Monday, and then we have Tampa Bay on Wednesday. Then we play the Islanders, who always give us problems. And then we play looks like, oh my god, we're gonna be done with the Devils. Holy shit, we're gonna be done with the Devils. We play the Devils twice. next week. We're gonna be done with New Jersey before season like halfway through. Isn't this the same thing that happened with us and the Islanders last year? By December, we were done playing with them. So, yeah, so we have Colorado tomorrow night. We're going to the game. Sakura might show up. He might not. We have New Jersey on Saturday. Florida, and then we're on the road for 2 games in Florida. So I think those 2 games are going to be the real test without Ovi against the Panthers and Tampa Bay. Especially Tampa Bay.
Landeskog, leave him alone.
But, all right, so how do you feel about this coming schedule, Gil?
I mean, if we break even, I'll be okay. I actually be more than okay with it if we break even.
The Colorado game's going to be winnable, and I'm probably going to bite I'm probably gonna this is probably gonna bite me in the ass for saying that. This should be a winnable game the way the Avs are playing. New Jersey, I don't know. New Jersey is up in the air.
I'm sure they go either way. Man, I got to roll. I got somewhere to be, but I will be back next week for the live stream. And my Wednesday night obligations is done after tonight, so you will see me on the regular.
All right.
All right.
Well,
Well, if it stay regular, it's very important.
Stay regular. And then I would not be shocked if we lost to Florida in Tampa Bay. Because Florida has had our number in the regular season, especially at home. Tampa Bay, I could definitely see us winning, but Tampa Bay is playing so well right now. I don't know. The Islanders should be a win, but like I said, one, it's a 3:00 game, and two, it's the damn Islanders. The Islanders always play us tough. Then New Jersey again. So I could definitely see us winning 3 of these next 5 games, or 6 games, going 3-3. But I could definitely see us going 4-2 as well. I think we win tomorrow night, and then we go from there. All right, we stalled it long enough. Let's do it. Here we go. Let's show you guys the clip of Ryan Leonard's goal.
Final minute. Leonard spins away. Driving Leonard, another 2-on-1 chance. Shot blocked, and then Hagen's fans on a rebound.
Oh, he scored! What a play by Ryan Leonard. Behind his back. Wow.
So he scored an impressive goal last night for Boston College in overtime. He also scored the game-tying goal to tie it up, to send it to overtime. Leonard also had an assist on the Gabriel Perreault goal. They were down 2-0 in this game, and they came back and won it 3-2. That's been Boston College's thing this season, is they've been going down way too easily in the beginning of the game, and then towards the end they come back and win. Ryan Leonard's goal. Gil, you've seen the goal.
Not an old hag, not a hoe bag. It was the toe drag of all time.
Jared, have you seen the goal?
Yeah, I saw a clip of it.
It was just I'm speechless of how good it just the wherewithal to do something like that is just amazing. And then Providence fans are whining about the refs, but whatever. Ryan Leonard has had a tremendous season the last 2 weeks. He scored, I think, he's got 6 goals in his last 3 games. It's really crazy, and now I think they have 2 more weeks, and then he prepares for the World Juniors at the end of December. So I think they have their semester ends in 2 weeks, the middle of December. So he will probably, or is obviously him and Chesley are going to get selected for the World Juniors. But there's a guy I want to talk about. The kid, he did not have a good night the other night. Kemp had a bad game against, who the fuck was it? He gave up, I think, 7 goals on 22 shots. It was only his 4th game in. So he played, Michigan State. He played Michigan State. He didn't look good. Let's just say that. But, like I said, I'm not going to put that against him. It was his first game in almost 4 weeks. I'm going to cut him some slack. He's still young, too. He's still young. He's still a freshman. He'll get more time next year. So we'll see what he does next year as a sophomore when he gets more ice time. But Ryan Chesley also had, he had a point the other night. Minnesota lost yesterday. Although they lost yesterday, but Chesley got another point. He's got 10 points, so he's completely tied his all-time points, and he's gotten it in less than 14 games, or 24 games from his freshman year in college. Let's just say he's good. He's pretty good. We're not really going to talk about the other ones, because I want to get into the last segment of this episode, because we're going to talk a little expansion. Because there is currently talks right now of Atlanta and Houston are the next two teams to come in the NHL. And we're potentially looking at a 2030 NHL expansion. And both teams are coming at the same time. Yes, so the talks are Steve Dangle about a month ago. I really haven't mentioned this. But Steve Dangle went on his podcast, the SDPN, Steve Dangle Podcast Network, and his two other guys, his co-hosts. They came out and said there was a GM meeting. I think it was last month. The GM meeting was last month, and they were going to vote on an expansion talk. And it apparently went really well. And it's looking like potentially sometime in 2025 that they're going to announce that an expansion is going to happen. Which leaves, and it's going to be towards maybe 2029, 2030.
You just said 2020, 30.
Yeah, I know, 2030. Shut up, Jared. 2030, you know what I meant. Which could see potentially an Atlanta team and a Houston team. So we're going to guess what their names are going to be. We're going to have a little fun here. Gil? I want you to pop up some names for said potential expansion teams.
Well, I don't know. So I don't know. Until Vegas started, expansion teams were usually really, really bad. I kind of expect that to go back to it. So maybe the Houston Tex ass, because they're going to be ass.
Oh my God! No, we can't do that. We can't do that. We can't do that.
Okay, I don't know.
All right.
And Atlanta. We'll call them the Atlanta Carters.
Why?
Why? Because Anson Carter's going to be the majority owner, and because of Jimmy Carter.
Oh, is he from?
Although that might not be a good thing, depending on, I don't know.
Right,
Some folks don't have exactly a great memory of that, but I don't know. It's all I can come up with right now.
Okay, so you have the Atlanta. So you have Atlanta Carters and the Houston Tex ass. Okay. All right. I guess that's going to be their name. All right, Jared, what is yours?
I feel like if Atlanta were to come back, they probably would be the Thrashers again, just like how Winnipeg was.
The Jets. Yeah. I could
Houston,
see that.
I don't know. Maybe they go with the Arrows since that was their old AHL team.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
I don't know. Houston's an up in the air one. I'm not really 100% sure what they would go with.
I think it's got to be the Arrows because not only were they a WHA team, they were also an AHL team. So you have Atlanta Thrashers. Now the question is,
Maybe Houston could be something space related.
I don't think you could because there's already like they took the Astros. The Rockets have a team.
Yeah.
What's the other sport? Football. The Texans. Oh, buddy. So Houston Arrows. I
Maybe
think
the Houston Galaxy. There used to be a World Football League or a NFL Europe team called the Frankfurt Galaxy.
Yeah, but I don't think they would be able to do it because of the MLS, the LA Galaxy. I don't think they'd be able
Oh
to do
yeah, okay. Didn't think of that.
Well, I mean, not really, because you've got some team names that multiple leagues have.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's only usually college. And look, the Golden Knights wanted to be the Vegas Knights, and London Knights went after them. So, and they won. So the Golden Knights had to become the Golden Knights. Would you get out of here? Go.
I frankly think Golden Knights is better.
I think Blackjack is better, or Aces.
Nah, because you already got the Las Vegas Aces for the WNBA.
Las Vegas. Who gives a fuck about WNBA? All right, so you got Atlanta Thrashers, you have Houston Arrows. All right, so what would you guys' logo be? Let's start with you, Jared, because Gil has the funny. I want to know what Gil's are going to be last.
Logos?
Would you go like the OG logo of the Thrashers, or would you like do a revamped version?
Yeah, probably something similar to the old one, but modernize it a little bit, maybe. Arrows, some type of airplane type. Not like the Winnipeg Jets.
I would go with Houston Arrows OG, the AHL logo. I'll send it in the group chat. I would go something like this. I would go something like that. But they could probably do like a little spin on it.
Yeah, maybe something like that, just with a little bit more updated.
Well, here's one. There's someone that made a fan one. So I could definitely see something like that. But the question is, if Houston comes in, does that mean Utah gets moved over, or are they going to save it for... Because apparently the head of the government of NHL board says that their plan is more than 30, or even Kevin Weeks agrees, that apparently he was hinting towards more than just 34 teams, potentially 36 teams. So we could see potentially Quebec. I don't think we're going to see Quebec. I think we're going to see Cincinnati before we see Quebec. If that's the case, would you move Atlanta to the Atlantic and then move Cincinnati to the Metro?
I don't know.
What's okay? So what well, you would put yeah.
If
The Atlantic is where the two Florida teams are now, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's the most logical place for them.
But the thing about that though is the Capitals do have a rich history of the years that the Atlanta Thrashers, even when they moved to Winnipeg, that we had a rivalry with them.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, it only hardcore Caps fans remember those days. Remember that.
But I could definitely. But the thing is, that's going off thinking Cincinnati's getting the other expansion team in the East. There's no news of that either, but I'm just saying right now the cold cut favorites to get an expansion, which is looking like we will be expanding again, is Houston and Atlanta. So I can definitely see. I think Atlanta will go into the Metro, and they will just move whoever it is. If they get Quebec, move them to the Atlantic. Atlanta gets the Metro. Houston's obviously going in the Central because they're going to want to have the Dallas-Houston rivalry. But my question is Utah stay and they just potentially try to go after Arizona again so they can just put Arizona back into the Pacific and then you have Utah remain in the Central? I could see that because Bettman is going to want to push to get a team back in Arizona. So I can definitely see that being the 33rd team. I think they'll be the 33rd team, and the 34th team will rely on either Cincinnati or Quebec City. If they find a way to get Quebec City, that would be awesome, because I think Canada does deserve a new team. And no, it's not for Atlanta to fail the third time, because I have a feeling that Atlanta's not going to fail this time around, because they have the right owners that want to build the team. So here's the other logo. This is the fan logo.
I like that one better.
I could definitely see that one being the jersey. Something like that. But anyways, let's look up NHL expansion. Some people call them the Houston Wranglers.
The heck is a Wrangler?
They did a ranch wrangling, like a rancher. Anyways, NHL players have weighed in on a possible league expansion, with Houston emerging as the most likely city for new franchise, according to a poll conducted by The Athletic. Out of 175 players surveyed, 54 named Houston as their top choice, putting it ahead of Quebec City, which received 47 votes. Canadians won't like that. They will not like that.
Yeah, especially now that team is total ass.
What?
Montreal?
No, I'm talking about Canadians in general.
Well, the Montreal franchise, I'm surprised they're not going to do everything they can to block it. If there's a move to Quebec.
They don't have to, because I don't think there's going to be a move to Quebec because of the Canadian dollar. It's so bad. Like, a lot of people don't understand. Yeah, yes, Quebec City could probably make money, but it's the dollar. It's the dollar that's holding back the Nordiques from coming back into the league. It's a reason why
basically Canada's economy would have to improve a lot.
Yeah. Like Quebec was gonna get a team before Vegas. Like there was severe talks about Quebec getting a team, but they didn't get it in time. So, but like I said, I think Atlanta and Houston are the reason why they're clear-cut favorites, because one, Anson Carter and Kevin Weeks, not just Carter. Weeks wants to bring a team in Atlanta as well. So I could definitely see that happening. And the reason, like I said, the reason why I think I think Atlanta works the third time around is because one, they're getting I think it's a $2 billion arena being built specifically to bring an NHL team back to Atlanta. Two, the guy that owns it is also working with Anson Carter to bring that team back. So that's the reason why. And three, I think if you go to Gladiator games when they have Retro Night, the building sells out with a bunch of Atlanta Thrasher fans. So there's a market there for it to work, and people are like,
I mean, it's the closest they have left to the team.
Exactly. And people are like, well, Atlanta's just going to fail again because it doesn't work. No, it doesn't. Vegas and Seattle are proving that wrong. It can work. Just get the right owner. The reason why Arizona failed is because their owner's a fucking douchebag. He doesn't know how to run the fucking team. you get like the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns owner wants to bring back Arizona, which is why I think Arizona will end up in Phoenix because he's trying to build a brand new arena for the Suns and the Coyotes. Uh, Utah has a good owner now. The Smiths are really good owners. Houston will have the Houston Rockets owner, who's very good. He wants to build a new arena as well. But Atlanta has Anson Carter. This time around, they will have the right owners, and that's the reason why they failed with the Thrashers. They didn't want to put a successful team on the ice. They didn't care. The Turner family didn't give a shit about the Thrashers. The owners of the Atlanta Flames didn't give a shit about the Thrashers. They sold them the chance they got.
Of course, the Flames owners didn't care about the Thrashers because they didn't exist yet.
Did I say Thrashers? My bad. The Flames.
Yes.
The Flames didn't care about the Flames. The Flames owners didn't give a shit about the Atlanta Flames. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean. That's my point. It's just people that argue that Atlanta can't work are fucking stupid. It can work. You just gotta have the right pieces, and I think they finally do. I mean, look how long it took Florida to be successful. Now Florida's selling out arenas.
Yeah, just a couple years ago, you'd be lucky if you could get a couple thousand people at those games, and they were selling tickets for probably like $20 a piece.
But that's more on the location. I don't think that's on the team itself. I think that's on the location. The arena is in a really bad spot in Florida. I think they need to move a little southern to Miami.
Closer towards downtown Miami.
Yeah, they need to move closer towards downtown Miami. But
I'll say, isn't that where the Heat's arena is?
yeah, just the arena's in such a bad spot. That's the main reason why people don't go to it. But they're selling out. Tampa Bay's selling out. Like Tampa Bay has had I think 5 straight seasons with a sellout.
Oh God! After being in the finals 3 years in a row and winning the cup 2 of them.
Even before that, they had a fan base. Like they had a fan base since their inaugural season. Like Tampa Bay is not struggling.
I mean, it helps for Florida that there's a lot of Northerners who move down there after retiring and just to get into warmer weather.
I don't know why.
So they kind of brought that interest in hockey down there.
But this is a lot to talk about, potentially. I want to get more of an expert in here next time to talk about the expansion.
What, we're not good enough for you?
No, not even me. I'm talking about like an actual guy that knows this stuff, like expansion stuff.
Gary
Atlanta
Bettman.
can't. I don't think Atlanta's going to fail this time. I think they're going to. The owners are going to throw everything that they have at this, and it's the economy of the city, that whole area. It's got the Coca-Cola company. It's built on that. Okay, there's no way.
Atlanta's one of the biggest areas down south where people are moving for work opportunities and all.
It's the second biggest city behind
Right.
Houston.
It is a booming city with so many people from all over the country settling there.
And like I said, there's so much potential there. It can work. So I think the Thrashers. I think if this is 100% gonna happen, because there's still a chance that this doesn't happen. I at this point though, I think it's almost a guarantee it's gonna happen, because they're already building. I think they're already building the stadium. I think they're building the $2 billion. The arena's already built, I think.
I haven't heard any word on that.
Me neither. But it wouldn't surprise
Well,
me.
would they move the Atlanta Hawks there too? Like be done with their current arena and just move everything into that new one?
Make the most sense. 2 tenants, 1 building, double your revenue.
Yeah, but they had that.
That's another weird thing. The fact that the Miami Heat and Florida Panthers don't share an arena. They each have their own separate arena. Never made much sense.
The thing about that though is, so here's what it is. A first-time developer is pitching a new Atlanta NHL arena. It's going to be specifically for NHL, not for NBA. So no, they would not share. I think the Hawks would stay at State Farm Arena. Is anchoring a
Yeah,
two.
but it's not. It doesn't take much to transform a hockey arena into a basketball arena.
Yeah, but it's not the same going the other way. Like a basketball arena to be transformed into a hockey arena. There's a reason why the Kraken had to expand a year after they were supposed to come in because the arena wasn't ready.
Well, and that's the big issue with Utah right now. That arena was built for basketball, and that's why it
No,
looks so
no,
awkward.
that's where the Utah Grizzly play.
No, the Grizzlies don't play there. They play somewhere else.
I thought they did. They said they played there, or was that their?
I mean, maybe they did hold games there, but it's not their main arena because it's not really fitted for a hockey team, which is why you've got the seats in the end zones there so high up and all.
All right, here we go. NHL Arena anchoring a $2 billion mixed-use development featuring hotels, retail, residential components, pitched as being similar to the Battery in the Cobb County. So it's going to be a 20,000-seat arena optimized for NHL hockey, the third run at NHL team in Atlanta following the Flames and Thrashers. They misspelled Thrashers. They put it Threshers. That's hilarious.
The Threshers?
The Threshers. Following the arena on development calendar would be 1 million square feet of office space, blah, blah, blah. So when do they... project will be introduced April 25th.
Oh, here we go. The Utah Grizzlies play at Maverick Center in West Valley City, Utah.
So they don't play there. Okay, so the public engagement listing will be scheduled for May. So let's see if they started it yet. When does it say they want to build it?
I think eventually Utah is going to take the Grizzlies as their ECHL team. It would only make sense.
Yeah, because I have a feeling that the Colorado Avalanche are going to move. Who was it? The Roadrunners. I think they're going to take the Roadrunners and move them into. Not the Roadrunners.
Eagles?
No, the Colorado Eagles are at AHL. They're already an AHL official.
Oh yeah.
They're going to take another team and they're going to move them probably into Boulder, Colorado, so they have all three of their teams in the same state. Because right now the Utah Grizzlies are their ECHL team. The Colorado Eagles used to be the ECHL team. Then they moved to AHL when the Rampage disbanded and became the Henderson Silver Knights. So it doesn't tell me when this is going to be built. So I'm assuming probably sometime next year. Yep, it got greenlighted last year. Doesn't tell me when it's going to do, though. Oh, they're still doing a public vote for it. So... Oh, it's down to 18,000, not 20,000. So I don't know when this is going to be built. So that's a question. Anyways,
What do you think the expansion fee is going to be?
700 million.
Wasn't it like a half a billion for the Knights?
Yeah, then it was 650 for the Seattle Kraken. That's another reason why I think they're more likely gonna expand, because they're gonna make money in fees. I mean, it was almost $1 billion for the Arizona Coyotes to move to Utah. Oh, it's
that salary cap better be over 100 million by then.
What?
By the time expansion hits?
Yeah, but like I said, the early expansion we're probably going to see is 2030. And people were like, well, they're going to deplete the skill. Like, no, they're not. The skill is getting better and better each season. Like, we're getting more and more players making it to the NHL. I don't see the now, if we expand to 40 teams, yeah. But 36 is going to be fine. Anyways, let's get into the Hershey Bears before we wrap this up. The Hershey Bears are having another historic-like season. They are in first place of their division, and they're up by 5 points on Hartford, and they've only played one more game. The team that scares me the most is the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, because they're playing really well. But yeah, I don't see them three-peating. I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to get knocked out of the playoffs this year. I do think this team just doesn't have the same feeling it had the last 2 seasons going into the playoffs. But that could change by the time playoffs come around. But the Bears they're losing games this season. The games that they lost because of self-inflicted wounds. So they lost to Bridgeport 6-1 on Friday. They beat Lehigh Valley 6-3, and now they play Toronto tonight. So we'll see how that goes. They play your team on Friday, which they're probably gonna get their ass kicked.
Do you think the Amherst are going to win?
Yeah. No, I don't know. The way the Amherst are playing this year, I don't know. The Amherst haven't looked really good this year. They've been up and down. I'll tell you who looks really good, though, in that division. The Rockets.
Yeah, Laval. Amherst are up in Laval right now about to play.
Are they? Let's look that up.
Yeah, last I... What are they, like 10-2 or some shit?
They're they're a game over from Hershey being the best team in the league.
And yet their NHL affiliates near the bottom of the league.
That's because half their fucking prospects are in on the AHL team. So the Rockets are actually a point up on us. But the Calgary Wranglers have the most points. Fuck, Coachella's winning again. Can't they just stop playing well? Can they lose? They don't even have Shane Wright anymore. Shane Wright's officially with Seattle.
Oh, he did become full-time Kraken?
Yeah. He's a healthy scratch, though. But he's on the roster. He'll be good. I think him and Matty Beniers are going to be really good. Who's the guy they drafted this year, the defender? The really good defender. Dickinson, I think his name is. No, they went 8th overall pick. They landed... Here, I got it. They drafted... Oh, Berkeley Catton. Yeah, that's a 1-2-3 punch right there. They had a good draft. They drafted a lot of fucking centers. So, Jared, you weren't here last week when me and Gil went over the mock draft. We're going to do another mock draft before we end this stream. For the Washington Capitals. So let's go ahead and mock draft the 2025 first round pick for the Washington Capitals. Right now, we are currently sitting at 19th. Oh no, this is old. So we're currently sitting at the 2025. All right, so here we go, mock draft. Okay, so let's see what this one has. So Let's see what we got. Okay, so we got picks 1 and 16. Utah's getting James Hagan. I don't see that. What the hell? Utah's not on the bottom of the division. They have San Jose taking Martone. They have Calgary taking Misa. They have Columbus taking Frondo. I think Columbus will end up getting James Hagan. They have us at 5. What? This has to be old. This has to be really, really old. Yeah, this is August. This was August 30th, 2024. This dude had us at 5. And he has us taking a defenseman from fucking Wisconsin.
Even so, August they'd already done all of the upgrades. And they still.
All right, here's
Who is this guy?
This was fucking a douchebag on a mock draft. All right, so here we go.
Douchebag.
An idiot. All right, so here's an early November first round predictions for the 2025 NHL draft. So San Jose, wow, they have Porter and Martone going first. So they don't have James Hagan going first. They still have him going to Columbus, which I think that's where he's going. I think Columbus is going to get this player. Him and Fantilli are going to be the 1-2 punch on that team to help them get out of that rebuild. They have Montreal taking Roger McQueen. They have Anaheim taking Logan Hensler. They have Chicago taking Michael Misa to pair him with Connor Bedard. They have Philadelphia taking Matthew Schaefer. They have St. Louis taking Antoine Frondeau. They have Pittsburgh, which this one I agree with. Pittsburgh's more likely going to take a defender in their first pick. They're going to get Radim Murta. They have the guy I want, Caleb. What was his name? Desnoyers? Denoyers is going to Boston. They have Calgary getting Malcolm Spence. They have Buffalo getting Ivan. They have the Sabres taking a center every fucking year. Why? That makes no sense. They have Detroit taking William Moore, the second guy I want to get. Seattle gets a defender. Nashville gets Jake O'Brien. So let's go to our pick. Our pick's probably in the 20s. 21. They have us taking a fucking defenseman. We're not taking a defenseman. Especially not a left-handed one. We need center depth more than we need. We don't have a number one center when Strome after Strome. Once Strome leaves, we're not moving Dubois to the top line. I just don't see this. All right. 6-foot defenseman Wang. What a name. Oh, he's Japanese. Oh, he's Chinese. Oh, shit. I think that'd be the first Chinese-born player to play in the NHL. All right. Let's do this. Okay, so draft lottery. Let's do this. Let's simulate it. Detroit, there's no way in hell Detroit's getting. Oh, great. Pittsburgh got the first overall pick. All right. One more. Okay, so San Jose gets him. Okay, so who are we drafting? They have us at 28. Wow. They think we're going to the second round. Okay. Brady Martin. Who the fuck is this? No, I don't want another guy from the OHL.
Good over there?
What?
OHL. Overrated hockey league.
Hey, I've been to an OHL game. It ain't bad.
Hey, Jared, you okay over there, man?
Yeah, why?
Your face is frozen.
Oh, hang on.
There
Better?
we go. There we go. You were like this. You were stuck like that. This isn't the guy I want. I want Cole McKinney. But he's not even on this list. All right. Way too early predictions. That's October. I don't see anything that's going on right now. Maybe Draft Utopia. Okay. No, that's this one. This is the fucking dumbass that thought the Capitals. Oh no, he changed his. Did he change it? Oh my god, did he change it? No, he didn't. His name is here. Hey, Gil, his name is Chris Ransom. And he thinks that we were going to draft 5th overall.
He sold his brain for ransom.
Oh my God. He doesn't even mention Ryan Chesley. Carlson's contract is up in 2026. They will need someone to complement Carlson on the top line in 2025 if Chikrin hits the open market.
Guy runs a site called Draft Utopia. That makes sense because he's fucking living in fantasy land.
All right. I think that's where we should end it. Gil's gonna get frustrated.
Utopia. The hell is that?
Gil's gonna start. He's gonna start flipping out. All right, one more draft, and then we're all right. So it has us taking. All right, Milton Gastrin. He's 6'2" center. He plays in the SHL.
Ooh, Swedish center. I like him already.
I could definitely see it. It says right here, a leader already at 17. Gastrin does a lot that the lack of stats playing at home might not show. The two-way center has a good 6'2" frame that he's still trying to figure out, and he's a strong playmaking too. I mean, it's okay. I don't think we're going defenseman. I don't think we need a defenseman right now. Oh, that's wonderful. Cardiologist, how quickly to lose a hanging belly. There you go, Jared. That one's for you.
What?
There's an advertisement that says cardiologists, how to quickly lose a hanging belly.
That's a cheap shot.
It hangs all right.
Okay. All right, moving on.
I'll show you in January at the Hershey game.
All right, I'm not going. They got Pittsburgh taking Malcolm Spence. They also have Pittsburgh in their old logo. All right. Yeah, so that's it all we got for this week. What the hell? Why isn't this turning off? Oh, stats. That's why. Okay. So, that's all the time we got. We had an hour and 8 minutes of an episode this week. It's been pretty busy. We had a lot to talk about today. Ryan Leonard, Ryan Chesley, all the prospects. Ovechkin going down. Before we go, Gil, what is your prediction for tomorrow night?
I think the Caps are gonna probably come out discombobulated a little bit because of whatever's going to happen to the first line, but they're going to get it together. I think Colorado's going to look for revenge, so it's going to be close, but I think Caps are going to pull it out. I say 4-3 Caps.
Jared, what is your prediction?
Yeah, I think the Caps are going to be fighting hard for OV, so I see them winning it.
Score?
I'm going to say maybe 4-2.
Let me tell you why you're both wrong.
Oh boy.
Haven't said that.
There we go.
Haven't said that in this segment in a long time. Let me tell you why you're wrong. We're gonna destroy them. We're gonna crush them. And then when we break their spirit, We're going to hang 10 goals on them. No, we're going to win 5-2. I think Colorado is just in a bad spot right now. They don't have goaltending right now. They don't have the leader in the locker room right now. They severely miss Landeskog, and they've missed him the last 2 seasons as well. I think the Caps win. 5-2. And Jacob Vrana gets a hat trick.
Keep him on the power play. It could happen.
I dare you to tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me.
You're wrong.
I was talking to Gil, not you. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us this week on Caps Off the Chain Podcast, Episode 8. We will see you guys for the stream next Wednesday, but then we will see you guys back here on the Episode 9 and 10 the next 2 weeks after that. What are we going to say, boys? 1, 2, 3? 1, 2, 3. Let's go, Caps!
Go, Caps!
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely